Shalom. Shalom, Yeshua. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching 100% truth. Wa Barakatham to the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. May peace and blessings be unto your households. It's your brother Gadal from the Great Millstone Dallas branch, and this quick lesson, and this lesson is going to be pretty much for the men, if you didn't read the title already. But better to be without a woman than with a woman in these times, right? It's better to be without a woman than with a woman in these times, man, because it's only because, man, the women are ultimately the worst they've ever been now, let alone, man, as we get closer to the end, man, it's like you want to be more locked in without having distractions, right? Now, to clarify that, man, it's like, of course, there's nothing wrong if you get a woman, let alone if you have one. Don't just fuck up your situation just because, you listening to this video, but, it's just better to be without. Now, don't get me wrong, man, it's hell, man, it's hell either way it goes. It's hell if you got one, and it's hell if you don't got one. Simply put, man, right? You don't go like, yes, it's better to be without, but it doesn't mean that it don't feel good, man. I'll probably get into that a little bit, but, I'm really getting to that 1 Corinthians, pretty much the Apostle Paul's advice onto man about pretty much as far concerning women, right? I'm against 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1. It says, now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch woman, right? So it's a good thing if you are able to, go without, which is, hey, call all y'all, but Shonshan, that's a blessing if you're able to do that, because it's not an easy thing to do. If you're able to go without, having a woman, then, man, that's beautiful, right? I really commend, brothers that are able to do that. Now, not to say is that easy, probably not, more than likely not, right? But, if you're able to do that and be okay, hey, call all y'all by Shon Shah. I'm going to read verse 2. It said, nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband, right? So, avoid, really adultery. It is best that you have a woman if it's gifts that bad. And I think it goes into that in this chapter, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm going to go ahead and jump down. All right, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 27. It says, art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loose. So if you have a wife, of course, a rib, a woman, of course, stick with her. Don't be just dismissing the woman for no reason. Now, she's being a complete, utter demon, and not adding on to you, then yeah, of course. But if there's no reason, no cause of you doing it, and you're just doing it because she might have made you upset that one time or whatever, that's you. But, it's not really too wise, really, But Marie says, art thou loose from a wife? Seek not a wife, right? So if you are, single, it's best, because this is just Apostle Paul advice. This is not something that like, oh, this is a commandment. No, it's just advice for when it comes to serving Yahweh B'Shem Shai, being more locked in the spirit. In order for you to be the most locked in you can be is without a woman. Simple as that. If you got a woman, no matter how so-called locked in you think you is, you're not going to be as locked in as if you didn't have one, because that woman takes up time that could be given to the Lord, or would be given to the Lord if she wasn't there. But she is. Therefore, you give some of that time to her. Simple as that. Right? So that's why he's saying that if you lose from a woman, hey, don't seek one. right? Just just chill if you're able. Matter of fact, let me see what I can find there. Yeah, just chill if you're able, man. Let's see this. All right, so I'm gonna jump pretty much back up. Oh, here it goes. I'm tripping. I skipped over it on accident. This is First Corinthians chapter 7, and verse 9. It says, "But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn." All right, so even Apostle Paul realized that, man. If it's just too much, bro, it's better that you just get a woman, right, to avoid you committing adultery, right? Because, man, if you burning for real, and when we say burn, not like STDs or nothing. We ain't talking about that for the newcomers. We're talking about, like, man, you horny, pretty much. You horny as fuck, straight up. It's better to marry than to be just horny as fuck, lusting. Because it could get bad to the point to where, man, you do it to somebody else woman because you ain't got nothing. If you go too long, it varies for every brother. Some brothers could deal with that and be okay. Some brothers is like, I don't know about that. It's a lot tougher for them, right? Sex drive might be higher. It's really more common in younger brothers like as such myself. I having a woman, it's like, man, that shit is not an easy thing at all. At all. It's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, man. You got the peace of mind. You can do what you want whenever you want. And you can attend upon the Lord, as we're gonna get into, without distraction. But the flip side of it is like, man, you're burning, man. You're horny. Man, you're horny, and it's worse if you really just ain't got nothing at all, man. Hey, Lord might mess around, throw you a bone, but if he ain't throwing you bones, which, Lord, he will, but in his time, how much worse, man? How much worse it is, because it's like, it's natural for a man to want a woman, right? Hell, the Lord created woman for the man. The scripture go to me. The man is not for the woman, but the woman is for the man. But also, I'm gonna get this in this Genesis chapter 2 and 18. It says, and Yahweh, all right, the Most High said, "It is not good that men should be alone. I will make an helpmeet for them." All right, and these women are supposed to be helpmeets, man. But we're not really dealing with women. We're dealing with a bunch of females, because woman means female servant. So we're dealing with but these ain't no female servants, man. They're just female. There's just a bunch of boxes walking around. There's no good. That's like good for nothing, really. And it's just especially more so in these times as things get worse, man. These women are not getting better. These females are not getting better. They're getting worse. That's why that great humbling has to come. So, yeah, man. Lord, he created woman for us, man. It says it, man. It's not good for a man to be alone. So, if you are by yourself, then yeah, cool for the sake of, the time period we in, but doesn't mean it's really just a straight up good thing, because, I don't want, especially for newer brothers, I don't want brothers to be like, man, why do I feel this way, man? Why can't I just go without, man? Because it's your nature, man. It's your nature to want a woman. Right? It's nothing wrong with wanting a woman, especially if you're trying to go without, man. You're really just fighting nature at that point. That's why I said, in that 1 Corinthians 7, I was really emphasizing, man, this is Apostle Paul's advice. Man, this ain't no commandment or nothing. No, if you're single, you ain't got no rib or nothing, because it's easy to just be like, brothers, don't worry about women. It's easy to say that. It's easy to say that, but going through that shit is not the same at all. Especially if you're young. Now, if you're older, it's easier because your testosterone is a lot lower. But if you're talking about like from your early 20s to like early maybe mid 30s, man, your testosterone is up there. So it's like, man, like you can't have that. Everybody can't have that Apostle Paul spirit. So it's really worse for brothers that are younger, trying to do that. Because your sex drive is that much higher compared to a brother that's maybe 40, 50. Like, okay, their sex drive lower, their testosterone lower, they're more sort of chilling. But a Jake around pretty much around my age, and cause I'm 25, it's like nah, man, that stuff ain't no joke. That stuff ain't no joke, and it makes sense, man. So don't feel bad for the way you feel when it comes to not having a woman. It's natural. Man, hell, let me go ahead and get this scripture. I just thought about it. This is Sirach chapter 36, verse 25. It says, where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled, and he that hath no wife will wander up and down mourning. Right? So if you ain't got no wife, man, you're going to be mourning. Because like I said, it's natural for us to want a woman. But you can't really get a woman on the side like that. You're just going to get a female. Because most of these most of these females are no good. Now, not to say the Lord can't bless you with a decent woman. That ain't, not to say that, because the Lord could definitely do that. But, it's just like, it's as time goes on, it's like these females are getting worse, right? And we're in the times to really trying to be locked in more than ever, so don't feel bad if, not if, because you are going to feel these feelings. Don't feel bad when you want to desire a woman, but yet, you're trying to chill, or hell, the Lord might even have you on a dry spell, man, because that is the thing. The Lord will have you on a dry spell. Woman not looking your way like that, hell, you might try to talk to him, you just getting straight shot down. Majority, like, just getting shot down, right? No woman's checking for you or nothing. So if you going through that dry spell, man, hey, that shit ain't no joke either. But the Lord, he does that for a reason. He does that for you to focus on him. I'm gonna jump down. Well, I'm gonna get back in 1 Corinthians. Back in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 28. It says, but and if thou marry, thou hast not sinned, and if a virgin marry, she hath not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you. So you're gonna be going through it in the flesh, because as men, we understand, or men of the Lord, we understand that women are Satan play toys. Right? Satan will go fuck with the woman before he start fucking with you, because women are the weaker vessel. So you could get to her easy. Time to be impeccable. Because I've gotten the best of both worlds. When I have a woman, when I don't. You need a woman. You need a woman to comfort you, but she might be comforting you every other time, but the time that you really needed it, right? At the time that you really needed her to comfort you, she's being the damn demon. Like Job, right? Like in Job, man. At the time that he needed to be comforted the most, man, she talking about cursing the Most High and die. What type of shit is that? And that's just one of the examples out of many. Just saying, that's part of you having that trouble in the flesh, man. You have to deal with her. You have to be patient with her, right? That's why I titled the lesson. I titled it, "It's better to be without a woman than with a woman in these times, man." It's better to be without, right? It's hard either way it goes, but you're better off without, though. The pros outweigh the cons when you're single, and the cons outweigh the pros when you do have a rib. Okay, back in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 29, it says, but this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they have none. So even if you do get a real man, it's just like, you really ain't got time for it like that. As men of the Lord, man, because you're busy. Now, of course, you're going to make time for them, but it's just like, you can't make too much time for them, because you're going to be busy doing whatever you're doing. If you're active in the ministry like you're supposed to be, then you're not gonna really have time for your woman like that. Shit, help me speaking now. Like, I ain't got no woman now, but man, I'm busy as hell. It's like, man, trying to fit a woman in that, it's like now, like as I think about it now, it's like, man, it's a lot harder now than before. I'm more busy now. I've got more responsibilities in the ministry, trying to do things to please the Lord even more, which is taking more of my time. It's like, Trying to squeeze a woman in there right now, I don't know. It's pretty hard, but it's just like that's just how it is. You know, I'm gonna jump down again. Okay, First Corinthians chapter 7. Verse 32. It says, "But I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried cares for the things that belong to the Lord, how he may please the Lord." So when you are, single, when you don't have a woman, as a man, you focus on the Lord that much more because you ain't got no woman with you, right? You don't have no woman with you to pretty much distract you, because women, are distractions, right? Not to say, man, if you get a woman that, not to say if you get a woman that you tripping. No, it's a beautiful thing if you got a woman and she's actually cool, man. That's beautiful. But guess what? She's going to distract you in some shape, form, or fashion, even if she's not trying to. Just knowing that she's yours is already a distraction. You just one call away, one text away. Hey, babe, or however you talk to her. That's a distraction within itself. Just knowing that she's there. But I'm gonna jump down verse 35. I'm gonna read verse 33. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 33 says, "But he that is married cared for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife." So when you do have a rib, guess what? That's someone else you got to think about. Someone else that's taking up your time within your mind. Right? You're not, not to say you don't think about the Lord. Of course you're going to think about the Lord, but you're not going to think about the Lord as much as you would if you're single. Right? If you're married, you still think about the Lord, but you'll be thinking about your wife too. Which is nothing wrong with that. Just saying that, like, y'all get the point, man. The woman takes up time as well. But I'm going to jump down verse 35. It says, and this I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is calmly, and that ye may attend upon the Lord without distraction. So Apostle Paul, he let you know, like, man, I ain't trying to, mess up what you got going on or nothing. I ain't trying to, trap you in anything, but it's best that you serve the Lord without distraction. In other words, not having a woman. That's literally the best way. Hell, that's what Paul did. That's what Yahushua did. He didn't have a woman. His past reincarnations, he did. He has with Solomon, plethora of women. But when it came as even when he's Adam, he had a woman. But when he came as Yahushua, he said, "Nah, this time I'm doing nothing but the Lord without a woman." So to be locked in on the Spirit on a level that you really want to, or at least close to what you want to, it's very doable. It's like it just has to be without a woman. Put it like that. Now, not to say that you can't be locked in and have a woman. You can, but it's not the same when you're single. Lord bless me to got the best of both worlds, man. I can confidently say that, man, I've never been more locked in than ever without a woman, by not having a woman. When I had a woman, I thought I was locked in. Shit, nah, man, without it, nah, I'm locked in for real. Doing a way more. It's like it's not even a comparison for real, to be honest. Because all that time that I would give to a woman went to the Lord. I ain't gonna act like 100 all of that time with the Lord. Now, don't get me wrong, I still got other stuff I like to do, my hobbies and stuff, but still majority of the time went to the Lord, man. Instead of like, oh, I got to do this for the woman, got to plan this out. Nah, it's just the Lord. But what else? Yeah, that's about it on that, man. Just understanding that, man, it's just better. It's better to be without a woman than with one, man. And don't beat yourself up about how you feel when you are trying to do these things. Like when you are trying to just thug it out as a single man, a man that doesn't have a woman, man. It's tough. Just being blunt, it's tough, man. because you naturally want a woman. Is I want to say to you younger brothers, hell shit, I'm speaking to myself, to myself, man. There's nothing wrong with being single, and there's nothing wrong with the feelings that you feel when it comes to you like wanting and desiring a woman, man. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually, you're supposed to be that way. It'd be pretty weird if you wasn't. You know, you're supposed to be that way, right? But don't let you feel that way make you make any rash decisions when it comes to dealing with women, right? Because like I said, you might be on a dry spell. Because like I said, the Lord will do that to you. You will be on a dry spell where you just not getting nothing. No woman's looking your way, like, and you look good, and you know you got women before, but now it's just, hey man, you know. It's just when stuff like that happen, man, just know the Lord, I've talked to the bros about it, man. Just know the Lord wants your time when something like that happens. If you're able to realize you're on a dry spell and you're just not getting no woman, it's because the Lord wants your time. Yahweh Shem Shah wants you to get to know him, man. As a brother once told me, man. He wants you to get to know him, focus on him. Because the time will come back up where he opened it up. Like, all right, you go ahead and get a woman now. But until then, you're going to have to deal with that, them cold nights, lonely nights. I'm so lonely. Because, man, we could deal with being alone. We could deal with it. That doesn't mean it's easy to deal with it, but you can deal with it. So, yeah, don't feel bad about that, man. But don't be just trying to get any kind of woman though. When the Lord does open it up for you or whatever, hey man, take your time. Take your time, because these women will fuck your life up. Straight up, man. Hell, a woman can knock you out the truth. We seen what woman done to the best of us, man. Adam, Solomon. We seen what woman did to King David. We seen what woman has done to the best of us. So you really got to be careful. That's why it's just better to be without, because these women are even worse now. But if you do end up getting a woman, man, it's all good. But if you don't, hey, try to stay that way as long as possible, to the best of your ability. Easier said than done, though. But anyways, Lord willing, y'all's edifying. I ain't gonna, talk your ear off about all that. I want to end out by saying, Kal Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rechakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And until next time I say, Shalom, Yeshua.